All right. IBO Sports Network. Welcome to our Tuesday, 7:30 podcast. We got Rowdy Tiger, and we also have a guest on, and he's actually coming on board. And we got a lot to talk about tonight. We're talking about basketball, football. We're going to talk a little bit about baseball. We're going to talk about a little bit of sponsorships. I want to welcome Jacob on. Jacob actually came on last week. And our views went up 300%.
Dude, you must have a pretty face.
Man, I did what I can do.
What the hell? Everybody's been talking about you, man.
Yeah, man, just the beginning, Josh.
Just the beginning. The best is yet to come.
Hey, what's the saying?
I was just
the best is yet to come.
Yet to come.
My IT guy sent me a chart, and it just went, wow. So this is brought by Vapor Nation. They've been a sponsor of ours for 2 years. They're going to go in the third year. We usually do the opening game, so it looks like we're probably going to do the LSU game with them. I'm going to meet with Brad this week about doing a contract. Go ahead and get the game set up for that. And I also want to talk about industrial employment. Am I pronouncing that right?
Incorporated. Yeah.
Incorporated. They're in Greenville. We're going to have a meeting with them Friday. Everybody needs a job. For what I understand, the employment agent, they'll help you find a job. So basically, we were just talking before we got on the podcast. We got basketball coming in at number 11. They won't give us enough love.
Right there on the crisp outside looking in.
It's in the top 10.
I feel like this is the Clemson 2014, 2015 all over again.
Well, I think the disrespect's good. It actually motivates us. Baseball 7. Football too early got us at 8. So we're looking good in all three major sports. A little bit about this weekend. We swept the I call them the dirt peckers. We swept them in baseball. We beat them in Clemson. We beat them in Greenville. We beat them in Columbia.
Hey, I was talking to Jacob pre-show, and I was like, did you see the video of Dabo in the dugout, like kind of doing a little broadcasting with the strikeouts during that one of those games? Man, it was hilarious.
That's what I love about Dabo. He goes to basketball games, he baseball games.
Is great. He is great.
Man of the people.
Yeah. Right now, Clemson's actually playing in Greenville. The score could have changed, but about 10, 20 minutes ago, we're up 3-0 in Floorfield against the USC Spartans, which is here in Spartanburg, which is called USCS here. So anyways, we got a lot to talk about. We're getting up to March Madness, the ACC tournament. Clemson's got a double bye, and we're an 11th seed. So there's a lot going on. And we got football spring game coming up on the 5th on Saturday.
Everything looking good. We got, like I said, I think you just mentioned Clemson's up 3-0 in the 7th inning over who was this team again?
It was
South Carolina Upstate.
Let's say like a
USC Upstate.
It's
right out there, Spartanburg.
Yeah.
So is that's another South Carolina Gamecock?
It's like a
team,
satellite. Right? Yeah. Sort of kind of.
They get a baseball team for that?
Huh? Yeah,
they got a baseball team for a satellite school.
They got a baseball. They got a basketball. They do not have a football team. They got a tennis team.
They got
I guess South Carolina's got to do whatever they got to do to kind of win something and something, right?
Well, they got another satellite team somewhere, but I think the money comes.
Who do they think they are? Like the AAA and the minors or something?
I don't know. But we're up 3-0. Baseball's looking good. Basketball's looking good. Football's looking good. Hey,
basketball had me yelling at the TV screen this last game. I mean, first half was atrocious. And then they finally came out in the second half, and it's like, oh, hey, there's the Clemson team. They must have finally showed up. You found them on the bus outside somewhere?
Well, I mean, I think we went in halftime. We readjusted. Brad saw what was going on. They kind of changed the plays up a little bit. And basketball team's solid. I mean, I think we can go up against anybody and beat them.
Yeah, we finally stopped.
All right, Kevron, USC Aiken. Are you sure about that, Kevron?
That's the other satellite.
They got one in Aiken.
He's saying that's the other satellite team that we were referring to.
Huh?
That's the other satellite team you were referring to.
Okay. I thought it was just Spartanburg. And I think Union maybe has one. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Jacob and I was talking about this in the pre-show kind of planning or whatever is they came out in that first half against Virginia just kind of throwing up those threes and just not making them. And then they went on a little, non-scoring run there for a second. But then, like I said, came out in the second half. And I mean, I think it was 18-2 point run that they went on. That was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we stopped shooting all those threes and used our big bodies with Shefflin and Lock-in and stuff. I mean, you got to use that 230-pound 6'8".
Yeah, absolutely.
Use.
So what were the stats on that game? You got them?
Yeah. So for our field goal, we were 26 of 55 for 47.3. 3-point, we were terrible. I mean, as the first half showed, we were 1 for 10, a whopping 10% from the three-point line. Free throw, we were 18 of 23 for 78%. We're always missing a free throw here and there. Rebound.
But those three-pointers came all – you said 18 for 23 in the three-point?
3-point, we were 1 for 10 for 10%.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we threw up all 10 of those in the first half. Brick. We were building communities.
Absolutely.
Community out there with all those bricks they were throwing up.
Absolutely.
The rebounds, we were 30 to UVA's 28. Assists, we were 13 to UVA's 14. We had 5 steals. They had 3. They had 8 blocks, and we had 5. Total turnovers, we only had 7. So turnovers are going down.
That's good.
Total turnovers.
I was going to say that was one thing I did notice. Now, there were some turnovers and some crucial moments in the game, but I noticed that the turnovers were down, and I was impressed with that. I was like, finally, they're starting to get those turnovers down.
And then UVA had 10 turnovers, so we also our defense is extremely underrated. We don't get enough credit for it.
We do not. Defense is unbelievable.
Well, I saw an article that came out today saying, who can beat Duke? Is anybody going to be able to beat Duke? And I'm like,
hello?
We did. We did.
Already been done.
Hey, my dad said it years ago, and he said it about football, but it's about any sport. It's about baseball, football, any sport. He goes, offense will win games. Great offense will win games. A great defense will win championships. And it's the truth, man. If you got a great defense, you will win championships. I mean, you got a great defense. You don't let them score points. You hold them. The offense will do their job. You end up winning. So I think you're right. Our defense is underrated.
Extremely. Points in the paint, we absolutely dominated 48-24. Second half, we just put our head down and ran through their chest. Yeah. Our largest lead of the game was 15. And as y'all know, that was in the second half because that first half was rough.
First half sucked.
Yeah.
And then it was Shefflin's birthday. We got the win. He had 21 points. He has 2 really good back-to-back games now with ND in Virginia. But
I noticed he was a little bit more fired up in that game than some of the last few games. Yeah. Shefflin, he just seemed a little more fired up, especially when they started to take the lead and got on that run. You could see him just being a little bit more emotional, a little bit more hyped.
Yes, sir. And Dale Jones, the freshman, he gave us a big spark off the bench with a nice steal to take the lead, number 10. He's a good player. He was a big recruit for us. Normally we don't land a lot of huge recruits in basketball, but when they do, they stick around for a few years.
Yeah. That was like I was saying earlier, that one kid that showed up in that Notre Dame game, I've not seen him pretty much all season, and all of a sudden I'm like, who's this guy? Where did he come from?
Jake.
I like him. I like him.
That kid can shoot. He's a sniper.
Yeah, but I'm I just didn't understand why he hadn't been playing much. I like him a lot. Like him and, I like the nicknames that Dabo gave all the players. I think I will never refer to Lock-in as anything other than the Loch Ness Monster anymore. That is it. He is the Loch Ness Monster from now on.
So you heard that Friday.
Yeah. Did you see that video, Josh?
No, I was driving back to Clemson. I heard it.
So, yeah, Dabo did a video.
Only Dabo would come up with that.
They asked him about I
heard it live, actually on the radio.
They said, "Do you got nicknames for these guys?" And he said, "Oh yeah." He goes, "I got you got Locken. He's like that Loch Ness monster, kind of just creeps up out of nowhere and just, I was like, that's awesome. And then I think Jacob said he called Chef was like the sexy chef or something like that.
Yeah.
Man,
all right.
Oh man. But yeah, baseball's looking good. I can't wait to get down to Clemson and watch a baseball game live. Because it's hard to watch them on TV just because they're not typically
really hard to find on TV lately. Actually,
well, like tonight they're on ESPN Plus, and that which means you have to have a subscription to be able to watch.
As far as I know, I could not find them on TV this week when we play Carolina this weekend.
Well, it's because they were mostly on that ESPN Plus stuff, So that's what I was saying. Like, you got to have a subscription to be able to watch the baseball, and I hate that, but. I'm definitely going to try and get down to Clemson soon and catch a live baseball game. I'm hoping to maybe make that Virginia Tech basketball game, which I know that there's a baseball game.
There's a baseball game
today,
at 4, and the basketball game is at 6.
Yeah, so the baseball game kind of bleeds into the basketball game time start.
Yeah, it's going to be packed down there, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, come on down. We're going to be down there.
I'm going to try to. I'm working on it. It just depends on so I coach my kids' baseball team now, so I'm like the head coach of the team, and so it's like I've got to kind of schedule that because I know we have a practice on Saturday morning, so I just got to try and figure out how to get down there quick enough.
Yeah,
but hey, I'm excited. Girls basketball team's not doing so bad either. Like they're not doing horrible.
No, they're pretty good actually.
They're doing their thing,
So I'm at the gym on Monday morning doing my normal run, and all of a sudden you got Good Morning America on, and you got ESPN on, and it's got Clemson University, it's got Simon. If I say her name wrong, I'm sorry. It's the gymnast that won like so many gold medals, and they got Clemson University on there. Do you see that?
Yeah,
that was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
I mean, that was pretty cool.
I think it's Simone. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Simone, Simone Biles.
Yeah, Simone Biles. That what he said.
He's a beast.
So yeah, I just think that's good. What is it? This coming Saturday, we've got Boston College, 7 o'clock. Oh no, I'm sorry, Wednesday. So tomorrow night we got Boston College.
Tech Saturday. And that's it. And then we got a double bye, and then we play on the 13th against whoever.
Yeah, but they won't
the SEC tournament.
They won't do the seeding until
Sunday.
They'll do it over, right?
We'll play Saturday. They'll do the seeding on Sunday, actually, and we'll play on the 13th. So we play on the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. We'll play like 9th, 10th, 11th.
So as it stands right now, we would be a 3rd seed. Duke and Louisville would be a 1st and 2nd seed.
Okay. We still get like a double bye, right?
So we need Louisville to lose. If Duke loses, we could have a number 1 seed.
Yeah, because we have the head-to-head over Duke.
Who's Duke?
Let's see, who does Duke have left?
I know they beat
Duke
Wade
has
last
one
night.
game left versus North Carolina.
North Carolina gonna beat Duke.
That's a whole different world,
but that is a rivalry, though. That's like Clemson, Carolina. That's a serious thing in basketball.
Duke at Chapel Hill.
Okay,
well, they got to get their.
Is that Saturday?
It's Saturday at 6:30.
Okay. Well,
so they'll be playing the same time we play Virginia Tech.
Okay.
So they'll be playing the scores up on the Jumbotron in Little John.
Oh yeah.
So if anybody was to beat Duke, it could be North Carolina, despite whatever season they had.
They got to get back. They got their
basketball
earlier.
Duke and Carolina, even though Clemson and Carolina football is not as competitive as Duke and North Carolina basketball, but that's a rivalry. That's a big rivalry. That could happen.
That's what I'm saying.
That could actually happen.
if Duke loses on Saturday,
we're number 1 seed, number 2.
No. We would be number 2 seed because Louisville would have the number 1 seed. Now let's see. So Louisville has 2 games left, both home games, and one is versus California and the other versus Stanford.
Okay.
So Stanford with a 19-10 record, California with a 13-16 record. I mean, I think it's going to be tough for Louisville to lose one at home, but I think if they were to lose one, Stanford could maybe do it.
What is Louisville's record?
They're 23-6, ranked number 14.
Not bad. Not
we get to play them again after that horrible showing we had against them.
They beat us, and they beat us in football.
And that's a game we shouldn't have lost, period. If we wouldn't have lost that game against Louisville, we would definitely, number 1, be in the top 10. Number 2, we would definitely have number 2 seed lock.
South Carolina.
Huh?
The game we should have lost was South Carolina. That was ridiculous.
Oh, well.
And I didn't realize that
we shouldn't have lost. South Carolina and Georgia Tech. Period.
And Memphis, the overtime game with Memphis. I mean, all of our losses have been in overtime.
Exactly.
And all of them should have been won.
But, yeah, exactly. Every one of the games that we lost were games that we should not have lost. Period.
Yep, exactly.
And but like I said, now we got to leave it up to the basketball gods or whatever you want to call it. If Louisville,
I just want to win an ACC championship, and let's go from there.
Yeah, like I said, if Louisville can lose one of those 2 remaining home games, and Duke loses to UNC, we have a number 1 seed lock in the ACC championship, which gives us an easy path to the ACC championship game, which most likely would probably be versus Duke.
Right. Well, my prediction is Duke and Clemson in the ACC championship. Clemson wins it, damn it, because this is the year we do it. This is the year we do it. We're just going to win. We're winning this year, I'm telling you.
And then,
we beat them once, we beat them twice.
Let's just take a quick look at the where's it at? Quick look at the national rankings here. Let's see. Let's say I was listening to one of the announcers, and he was saying that if Clemson wins the ACC championships, they could be looking at one of the top seeds in the March Madness.
I should.
Yeah, but I think be around a 3 or 4 if we win out and then make a deep run in the ACC. Especially if we win it.
We should be like, 5?
We should. If we win it, we got to be.
If we win out, we should be in the top 4 or 5. Think about it.
Yeah, but
if we win the last 2 regular season games and win the ACC championship, we should be like 5, 4.
We should at least be a 4.
We should be.
But they
were saying like right now we'd be looking at say like a 6th, maybe 7th seed in the March Madness if we stay where we are.
Yeah.
Like when we don't win the ACC championship, we'd be looking at like a 6 or 7 seed. But it'd be nice to have that one of those top seeds. Then we have a little bit easier path to get to Elite 8, maybe tip into that top 4 or Final 4. If you really think about it, Auburn and Duke are really the teams you got to beat. Auburn's only lost 2 games, Duke's only lost 3 games, and they're the 1 and 2 right now.
And Auburn lost to Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
Or Florida. And we beat Kentucky, right?
I think Auburn got beat by Florida.
And Kentucky, I think.
Let's see. No, Auburn beat Kentucky.
Okay.
This past Saturday.
I know they beat Florida. Florida beat them because I saw that game. It's right before we beat Duke.
Yeah.
So who else they lose to?
I'm trying to pull that up now. It's one of those I have to kind of go through their whole schedule.
Auburn rightfully probably the best team in America right now.
They're looking good. Not gonna lie, they're looking really good. They're looking good. They haven't lost a game in a minute.
Yeah,
I'm already back to December.
Well, they lost to Florida the day we played Duke. So
Duke. Auburn lost to Duke in December.
They lost to Duke, and we beat Duke.
And they lost 84-78.
They lost to Florida the day we played Duke. Okay. So what does that tell you? You're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Crazy stat, but our basketball.
You think about it. We beat Duke, and Auburn's the #1 team in America, and we're disrespected in basketball like we always are, and maybe rightfully so because we've never really been dominant. Still, we beat Duke. Auburn beat Duke.
Just to add on to your disrespect about our basketball team,
Duke beat Auburn.
We're first in offense and defensive efficiency in the month of February, and we're still not in the top 10.
Oh, I mean, first five stars, we're first in offensive, defensive, and overall margin. I mean, that's been the whole season as far as our first five starters.
Still not top 10.
Still not top 10. We're at 11. They can't put us in there. We're right on the fringes.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, it was Duke and Florida is the two teams that they lost to.
Okay. And we beat Duke.
So
and we're #1 in offense.
Auburn is ranked #1, Duke #2. Houston's a 25-4 team. All right. And they're #3. Tennessee's a 24-5 team. So there's that SEC love, Tennessee 24-5. We're 24-5. Now, granted, it might be a little bit more of a strength of schedule that's being looked at there, because they are SEC, and the SEC does have a good showing of teams right now in the top 25. I mean, you got
definitely. They're definitely.
You got Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, Alabama. All of those are in the top 10. Then you got Missouri, 15. You got
Kentucky, 19.
Yeah, so
then A&M.
There's a good showing of SEC teams right now in the.
The SEC is definitely more dominant than the SEC in basketball right now, and football.
Let's see. Jackson said Clemson will win the ACC, no doubt.
All right, Jackson.
No doubt.
You are, but I like the way you think.
I agree.
They should just get our rings ready. It's over.
Let's go ahead. Let's do it. Football, basketball, and baseball. Let's go. Let's do it.
If the team that beat Duke shows up in the tournament, then we got it. It's a lock.
Not only that. Duke beat Auburn. And Auburn's #1. We just got to play. If we play the way Clemson's been playing, we can beat anybody in basketball right now. I truly believe that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I truly believe that.
If we play
first half bad and all that stuff. One thing I've noticed about Clemson is when they're hitting the 3-point plays, they stay with that. If they're not, they adjust it. They go into halftime, they make the adjustments, and they do what they need to do to come out in the second half and to win the game.
Yeah,
and I think Brad's doing a hell of a job coaching, really.
If we can stay away from an overtime,
definitely.
Overtime seems to be our curse. But if we can stay away from that and just, it's like, like I said, if they start out and they're hitting some threes, then okay, fine, continue to hit those threes. But when you start out not hitting those threes, then don't try to just go 3, 3, 3, 3. No, just drive the basket, maybe take a foul, and just get them twos. I mean, chip away. They literally did that against Duke. They lost Georgia Tech in the triple overtime because they kept trying to go for 3 points.
They kept trying to do what didn't work.
And then you come into Duke, and they didn't even try to go for threes that much, and they literally just chipped away. And guess what happened? They ended up winning the game.
Right.
So, hey, I think this is the year of the Tiger. So we got a trifecta going. We're going to get it in the basketball. We're going to get it in the baseball, and we're going to get it in football.
Natty in all three.
You've actually got a chance. It's going to happen. Has it ever happened? I don't think so.
I mean, I'm sure there's been one team out there that maybe, or
really won't happen in basketball, simply because we haven't been dominant basketball forever.
Yeah,
but I think
Florida did it as the double feature, if you will.
Would it be nice doing a triple? I mean, come on, man.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get the trifecta going here. Let's go.
I mean, you're talking about momentum. We got a chance. Let's talk football.
Yeah, exactly, Jackson. Just keep
talk football. I mean, football's looking really
the
good.
Loch Ness Monster is his new nickname. The Loch Ness Monster. Lockin. I like that guy. And he's what, a sophomore or a junior?
I think he's a junior transfer because he came from Cincinnati.
Yeah, okay. He's a junior.
Yeah, I that's what I'm saying. I mean, I like that guy. I'd love to have him for another year. I'd love to have him for another 4 years. But
great personality. He reminds me of the white Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, he can do everything.
And he can shoot the three too.
Threes, exactly. Shot, rebounds, blocks. I mean, the dude's a great dude. Whoever would have thought?
This is Chef's last year, right? He's a senior this year, isn't he?
The best player.
How about Shefflin's came a long way because when he first started, I mean, me and my dad always laughed at him. He was horrible. When he first came, he was terrible. You just dreaded his minutes.
He's been there forever.
But he's a senior now, right? This is his last year.
He's a senior, yeah. He had a good game though. He was actually hurt there for a while.
Yeah, he had something with his back.
The last 2 games, Chefs looked good.
Yeah.
Chase Hunter has actually been dealing with a calf issue now because he's had 2 bad games back to back with Notre Dame and Virginia. But he can play through it. But hopefully we get him healthy soon for our big run.
Yeah.
So I was noticing
I'd love to see a good, fully healthy men's basketball team come in and just, tear up the ACC tournament.
Man, wouldn't it be exciting? We've seen it in football. We've seen it in baseball. Wouldn't it be exciting to see that net cut down? In April. Was it like April 2nd or 3rd?
Brad Burnell cutting
the net. They're on the ladder. They get the scissors. And then they come back into Clemson. I'll be there when the plane comes in. And it'd be just like when we went first.
And honestly and truly, I'll be one of the first ones to admit I was on the Fire Brownell train.
If Brad wins, he's got to have a statue outside of Little John.
We got beat by Boston College. I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
Like I said, I will say I am one of the first to admit I was definitely
I'll tell you that
Fire
run last year in basketball
train.
was one of the most exciting runs since what we did in football. I mean, that was exciting. Because really, we made the NCAA, and I'm thinking, God, they lost to Boston College. They barely got in. And the last time, the year before, we did not get in. We went to NIT as the number 1 seed and got killed by a team. I can't even pronounce their name. I can't remember who they were. It's just like basketball just ain't happening. We need a new coach. And we went in there and lost to Boston College. And then all of a sudden we went in there and we won a game. And I said, well, that's cool.
And you beat
we've actually won 2 NIT championships. And nobody cares. Yeah. You're number 65. But once second one, it got a little bit more interesting. By the 3rd game, that's cool. By the 4th game, I'm buying popcorn. And everybody starts talking about it. But, I mean, we got a good chance to win it this year, man. Hell, we did, dude.
And if we get a top seed, if we get a top seed in the March Madness,
Let's do it.
Right, but what I'm saying is they just can't look ahead. Like they can't just go, we're playing, Joe Schmo. Yeah. We've got to play one game at a time and win this game, and then worry about the next
one
game.
One dribble at a time. That's where you got to be.
Just like the Dabo does with the football team. One game at a time. The biggest game of the week is this week.
Win
the closer. Can't get ahead of yourself. And I think that's what happened in the Georgia Tech game.
I will wholeheartedly believe.
I know that's what happened. We were looking ahead at Duke.
Yeah,
we had a week off. They're like,
it was that trap game. And and the fortunate thing about basketball and baseball is you can kind of have the trap game that won't hurt you if you lost, even though it kind of hurt us in the ranking side of things. Yeah. But then we turn around and beat the number 2 team in the nation. I mean, but going forward now, they can't afford to lose a game.
No, I think that's what happened at Georgia Tech. We were looking ahead.
Well, like I said, I will say it all day long. They could have won that Georgia Tech game if they would have stopped trying to go for three-pointers with 1 second left on the clock and trying to win the game on a three-pointer.
3 different times.
Huh?
3 different times pulling up from 30.
You got to play the game you're in, the play you're playing, the moment you're in. You got to be there.
They're literally sitting there watching the clock go down, Then when the last second of the shot clock, let's shoot a 3. Why? When a 2-point basket would have won you the game.
Yeah.
And they probably would have got fouled trying to drive the basket on that.
Do you think? I mean, when Alabama played Villanova, not Villanova. Yeah, Villanova. They beat them in football this year. Villanova, right?
Football?
Yeah.
Beat who?
Alabama.
Vanderbilt.
I don't know what I said. Yeah, Nashville, Vanderbilt. Do you think Alabama was looking at that game like it was a game they're going to lose? Matter of fact, Nick Saban said Vanderbilt's one of the easiest stadiums to play in.
Oh, yeah. They pulled up those receipts.
And that big old Alabama went up there, and they probably were not concentrating on the game. Probably looking – I don't remember if the game was ahead of them. I remember coming – it was an away game for Clemson. I came home, and I'm, like, fooling around my phone, and I see Vanderbilt up, and I'm like –
it's got to be a dream.
I said, ain't going to last. And I go down the freight yard downtown Spartanburg, and it's just like they kept keeping up. I was like, damn, that was cool. Yeah. And I guarantee you, Alabama did not show up for that game. They were thinking ahead.
I laughed all the way around about Alabama losing that game. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, I wanted to text every one of my Alabama friends and just be like,
only a college football can you run down, tear the goalpost down, go down downtown River Street in Nashville and throw it in the Cumberland River, and everybody cheers and nobody gets arrested.
Yeah, exactly. So
that was awesome.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was just hilarious to watch.
Dabo says it better than anybody. You got to play. You got to focus on the game that's in front of you. Yeah. And not only that, I think you got to focus on the play that's in front of you. The moment.
Now, here's a question for you. If Saban was still the coach, would they have lost to Vanderbilt?
No way.
No.
They wouldn't have got beat by Michigan either.
No, and I told you before, last year before Saban left when he's leaving, I said, once Saban goes, I'm not saying that Alabama's going to have a terrible team or anything. They're not going to be the same. They're not going to be the same team that Saban had.
Oh, absolutely.
Really. They had a little downfall. And that's why I think, Belichick coming to North Carolina. I think behind every great team is a great coach. I think Belichick, it may not happen first year, but I'll tell you in a couple of years.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's not this year, but next year, 2026. UNC is going to be something to be looking at. I'm telling you that right now.
We play.
Not only that, because I can tell you right now, Belichick and UNC are going to be writing some big-ass checks.
Yeah.
UNC's got the money.
Behind every great team is a great coach.
There's no question UNC's got the money.
We had Bowden, and
you're going to see some crazy transfers coming up. I guarantee you.
Dabo, I remember going home and I turned TV on. They got a new coach hired, Dabo. Who the hell is this guy? What kind of name's that?
Yeah.
And then we went on, and we won the ACC that championship that year, next year, and steadily. And then Taj Boyd came on. Next thing you know, we're winning ACC championships. And then by 2015-16, we're on the national championship. And that's why I'm the most pissed off guy in America, because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. And I don't even know who our coach is. I don't know who Jerry Jones just hired, but my Jesus. Jerry Jones just still can't seem to get through his big head and his ego. You need to hire a good coach and get him in there.
Speaking of NFL, did you see?
That's why I was so excited about, Tom Allen coming on, because I think he's a great coach.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited about Tom Allen.
I think he needs to be a defense coordinator.
I am super excited about Tom Allen. But speaking of NFL, did you see the big draft the big trade that happened? Debo Samuel is being traded to the Commanders.
I saw that.
They did it for a 5th-round pick.
I thought that was a little strange.
They're not the Commanders and the Redskins, man.
Well, I still call them the Redskins, but I still refer to them as the Redskins. But
I don't care who that offends; they're the Redskins.
To be correct on it, it's the Commanders now. But I was a little shocked with that trade. Now, from what I understand, it's not an official trade because they can't technically trade officially, but that is the offer that has been made and accepted.
Yeah, Debo Sanders is from Spartanburg, right up the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played high school over here in Emmett.
Unfortunately, he went to that team down to the south.
Carolina, yeah. He's good, though. Washington may win it all next year.
Yeah, but, like I said, I was just shocked to see that trade especially for what it was for.
They traded him for a bag of chips.
And did you see? You see the Myles Garrett wants to be traded by the Browns?
To where?
And then somebody put a social media post that said the Browns should trade him to the worst team in the NFL. And somebody commented under that saying, "So you want to trade him back to yourself?"
Everybody that goes to the Browns
said,
goes
should we
to
tell him? Should we tell him that the Browns is the worst team? I died laughing at that. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, apparently Myles Garrett wants to be traded. I don't know if that's official. I haven't seen anything official on that. But
so in legal news, we have some breaking news today with this lawsuits with ACC, FSU, and Clemson. And I'm trying to remember the original figure. Was it $400 million to get out?
It was a big number.
Or $300 million.
It was
gone down to $160 million.
Yeah, it was like a big number that like no team would ever pay to do a buyout.
I think it was 400, but they settled for $160 million, which is pocket change for Clemson. That's a biscuit and a coat down there, but I mean they can afford that if they want to get out of the ACC. I'm thinking it's $400 million. If not, they got to wait to 2036 or something, man. Something crazy.
So basically, we're still going to be a member of the ACC. We just now have an option.
We have an option to pay out or wait.
We would have to pay a lot less fee to get out if we want, or wait until a certain year. And
so it wasn't really a win, it wasn't a loss. It wasn't like you're out, y'all won, y'all can go wherever you want to. It's like y'all pay less money, what I understand.
Yeah. It basically came down to a settlement. Like the ACC said, okay, instead of dragging this out and going into a whole court battle, let's just settle. And all right, we'll give you this. You can buy out at this price or go to this year and then not have to pay that, and you can just get out.
You know, the grant of rights was like 30.
I will say that Florida State will probably leave. I don't think Clemson will leave.
I wouldn't mind it in football, man, to be honest with you. Or basketball, I wouldn't mind it.
I really wish we would force Notre Dame to join.
I wouldn't mind going to the SEC. That way I want to hear you're in a cupcake league. I mean,
well, just like I said, we're not a
national championship. We beat everywhere we need to be. Number one, number two, number three. It doesn't matter.
You talk to a Big Ten or you talk to an SEC fan, they call us a cupcake league.
But don't you think it would? Don't you think it would make more sense if our schedule had Georgia, LSU, Alabama? I mean, Tennessee, Florida, all these teams instead of like California, SMU. Georgia Tech.
We took on those teams because the Pac-12 fell apart, and the ACC was trying to. I mean, I get what the ACC was trying to do. They were trying to be more competitive to the Big Ten and the SEC with taking on these other teams. SEC taking on Oklahoma and Texas, Big Ten taking on Oregon and USC.
It's not our fault winning the ACC. The SEC is more dominant, brings in more money than the ACC. It just is.
But I'm going to tell you right now, if we honestly, we got to force Notre Dame to join. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. They get to play nobody.
Got to get Notre Dame to join.
Because Notre Dame just basically does what they want to do.
If Notre Dame joins, that would bring more of another powerhouse team into the ACC.
Yeah.
I mean, think about if you had Notre Dame. Look at what it did for ratings with Clemson versus Notre Dame in the ACC championship game.
Yeah. I think SMU
Notre Dame the first chance to win an ACC championship or a conference championship in their whole career or lifetime, because they've never been part of a conference that I know of. But like I said, I think Notre Dame needs to join the ACC. That would make us a stronger conference. Not only that, I'm telling you now, UNC is going to start being a powerhouse. And if Florida State can get their shit together and finally start bringing in a team, I don't know if it's Norvell or what's going on, but if Florida State can turn themselves around, now you're going to have Florida State, Clemson, UNC, and if, like I said, if we can get Notre Dame in there, that's 4 teams right there that's a dominant team. How many teams in the SEC that are that dominant? You got Alabama, Georgia, maybe LSU, when every other year they can become relevant. Now you got Texas. I mean, it's the same number of teams that are like good. Go to the Big Ten. What do you got? You got Michigan, Ohio State, kind of Oregon now, if you want to throw them in there. Every once in a while, Penn State likes to throw their head up in there. It's the same number of teams.
Yeah.
Every conference has the same number of good teams.
Yeah. I think
but then go back and look at the history of the championship. Who's winning all the national titles? Okay, yeah, obviously SEC. Why? Alabama, Georgia, LSU. All right, now let's go. Who else has won when they didn't win it? Who else won it? ACC, Clemson, Florida State. When we weren't winning it, then the Big Ten had it. And Big Ten's only had 2. Michigan, well, now technically 3. Ohio, Michigan, and Ohio.
Yeah.
It's the same teams. So how do you say one conference is better than the other when it's the same teams winning? When it's the same amount of teams winning? That's just how I look at it.
You got a point. I wouldn't have a problem going to the SEC.
We just need
some more money. Doesn't want it.
We can compete in this day of age. They just need to give us more money. Yeah. Can't have Ohio State.
But the SEC doesn't want it. And the SEC doesn't want FSU either. The reason why is because now you would have 2 teams in South Carolina recruiting for the SEC, and you got in Florida, you would have 2 teams recruiting for the SEC. That's why the SEC will not take Florida State or Clemson.
That's fine. I think. How many SEC teams have we playing in football this year besides LSU? 1? Is that it?
Well,
we're
2
not
if
going
you count South Carolina.
Huh?
2 if you count South Carolina.
Yeah. They don't really count.
I mean, every year we're playing at least 1
you're right,
SEC team.
We used to play 2, yeah. That's
every year we play at least 1 SEC team, and that's South Carolina.
That's cool. Just win your games, and everything come out in the mix. I mean,
yeah, I just hate when people say,
we used to be a dominant. We used to be dominant on basketball.
Not really. It's
not
the
this
same
year.
Team.
Huh? ACC used to be dominant in basketball. Virginia, Duke, North Carolina.
Well, when you have
pretty good there for a while.
Legendary coaches like Coach K and Roy Williams, when you lose those guys, I mean, you know that the ACC basketball realm is going to take a hit. I mean, that's inevitable. I mean, you can't. It's hard to replace a Coach K and Roy Williams. Right now, Brownell is the top dog in the ACC.
The alpha.
Alpha dog. We're winning it this year.
Get Brad.
But I'll say this.
You man. I'm gonna make some obsolete orange, whatever for the national championship.
I mean, I'll say I did not expect. I knew that when both those coaches left, Kay and Roy Williams was the last one for UNC. Correct? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. When those 2 coaches retired, I was like, okay. What's going to happen? Will they be dominant teams? Well, I expected them to drop just a little bit. I didn't think UNC would drop as much as they have, but I was not. I was highly surprised to see Duke still be like, bam, up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Duke's good.
I mean, I like it. I mean, it's making the ACC basketball look good that we still got that, blue chip up there, Duke. But now. New kid on the block. Clemson's coming.
We're winning it this year.
If Brownell can keep the recruiting going like he's got going in the last few years, we definitely could possibly be one of those mainstay powerhouses in the ACC. So I like it. I like where we're going. I like what's going on. Let me see if I can get a quick update on the baseball game. Top of the 9th, 5-0 over SC Upstate.
Yeah, Spartanburg.
So that game's over, unless there's some kind of miracle comeback.
We're going to win in basketball, football, and baseball. Let's go. Let's do it.
Clemson ranked number 11th in the baseball. I love it.
Yeah.
And we're only 10.
We'll know about June. What's going on with that?
Look at the disrespect on that.
Regionals over in Clemson.
Hold on. You want to talk about disrespect? All right.
Yeah.
Listen to this. We're ranked 11th. Okay. Our record is 10-1. Oregon State is 7-3 and is ranked 8th.
You talking about what, baseball?
Yeah, baseball.
Little old Clemson.
I thought we were ranked
Virginia is ranked number 9 with a record of 7-3.
Yeah.
But here we are, 10-1, one loss.
Yeah.
And we're ranked 11th. Make it make sense.
So 1981, we weren't even ranked in football. And guess what happened?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, just went out. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. I think that motivates our team, actually. I think if we came in number 1 on all, like, football, baseball, basketball, it would actually be a deterrent. I think the disrespect and the pressure of being ranked beyond what we should be ranked, I think it helps us out, actually.
Well, I mean, LSU
we're in a position
baseball,
where
LSU is number 1 right now with 11-1 record.
Well, here's the freaking deal, dude. We're in the Elite 8, right? And then this season came out, we're 16. That didn't make any sense. And they disrespect us from game 1. And all we lost was what, PJ Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've been disrespecting us since the beginning of the season, actually.
Just keep winning. That's all we can do.
Right. Just keep winning.
And then we'll prove them wrong in the end.
I believe this podcast is going to hit 200% beyond the last one.
Yep. I mean, just looking at the rankings here, baseball is, I mean, obviously it's a SEC dominated baseball right now. North Carolina, they're 12-0 in baseball. So I'm hoping we play them soon.
Yeah, we will. What are they ranked?
They're ranked in the top 10, but it's just like.
Who's number 1 in baseball?
Number 1 is LSU with a 11-1 record.
Really?
Number 2 is Tennessee with an 11-0 record. Number 3, Arkansas with a 10-1 record. Number 4, North Carolina with a 12-0 record.
Okay.
Number 5, Georgia, 13-1 record. Number 6, Florida State with 11-0 record. Number 7, Florida with 11-1 record.
Yeah.
Number 8, Oregon State, 7-3. Number 9, Virginia, 7-3. Oregon at number 10 with a 10-2 record. And then us at 10-1.
Okay.
So how is Oregon ranked above us at 10-1?
We were number 1.
How is Oregon ranked ahead of us by one spot with
last year? Yeah.
Do what?
We were number 1 last year at a point. Forgot it was
2 weeks or a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we just caught a hot team last year.
Texas A&M 6-4, and they're ranked 14th.
6-4, and they're ranked 14th.
That is its finest right there.
Texas A&M.
I mean, who's doing the rankings in baseball? Huh? My gosh.
Oh.
I mean, 6-4 at 14. Man, that's crazy. Wake Forest is number 15 with a 10-3 record. Make it make sense. Now, what's funny is it says here that their previous rank for Texas A&M at 6-4 was number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Make it make sense.
Number 1 at the beginning of the season?
It just says record and then previous.
Okay.
So meaning they must have been number 1, and then just went on a 4-game or 3-game losing streak or something like that.
They got the name like Ohio State, like Texas, like Texas A&M. I mean, that gets them a ranking every year. Ohio State, I don't care. Ohio State football can lose 4 or 5 games, and they're ranked top 10 every year. Doesn't matter. Now, I'm not saying now they deserve it now. I mean, still, a lot of that times names. I mean, it's like North Carolina's ranked like 4 or 5. Florida State was ranked like 6 in baseball last year when they started. And they won 2 games last year.
And they got beat by Georgia Tech to start in Dublin.
Yeah. I mean, that was like the biggest blow up of the season. They're right. What were they, 4? Were they 4 or 5?
I think they were 5.
5.
And they had our old boy DJ at quarterback.
They lose to Georgia Tech, and they win 2 freaking games, man. So anyhow, Anyhow. All right.
I'm just kind of looking up the baseball schedule here. So we don't really start conference play until a while here. So we got Presbyterian is up next. That is on Tuesday, March 4th. Or no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong date. March 5th. So Wednesday, tomorrow, we play Presbyterian. And then Friday, we got Davidson for a 3-game series. And then we got Liberty for a 2-game series. And then Friday, March 14th, at Clemson, Notre Dame comes to town for a 3-game series. Then we got then we got Citadel, but then we have Wake Forest. Trying to see if we get any of the top ranked teams anytime soon. We got Georgia Tech in March, end of March. Then we got Georgia Southern for 1 game, and then we got Cal.
We lost one game?
Huh?
We lost 1 game, right?
Yeah, Ole Miss.
Right now we lost 1 game, and that was versus
we're like 7-1
Ole Miss.
or something like that.
We lost Ole Miss
15-5. Yeah,
we're good. We're good in baseball.
We got Stanford, Louisville, North Carolina State. Oh, we do play Georgia for 1 game. That's Tuesday, April 22nd. That's an 8:00 game. All right, so one of the teams that's in the top 25, top 10, we finally go and play Florida State at Florida State. That's May 2nd for a 3-game series. And then, did we even play any of the top?
We play Florida State.
Yeah, we don't have UNC in here. We do not play UNC. We got Wake Forest. So we got Wake Forest and Florida State are the only teams that are in the top 25 that we play.
Okay.
At least according to what I have here. So,
I mean, by mid-June, the season's pretty much over. We're in tournament play, and
yeah,
probably be hosting the regionals in Clemson. Should be good to go.
All right. Finish us off, Josh.
All right. We got a golf tournament coming up. Let's talk about that. It's May 25th. We need sponsorships. $500 for a hole, and on the website, $300 for a hole. We'll put you on the website. We'll blow your business up. Come out and have some fun. We're doing it for a good cause, giving back to cancer and cancer research. And welcome Jacob to the team. I mean, he's been a great addition. I mean, like I said, we went up 300% last week, and I'm expecting to go up even more this week. We got March Madness coming up. If you're in town, we will be at the game Saturday, 6:00 at Little John. There's a baseball game at 4. And just such a time as this, got a lot of stuff going on. Everything looks good. Clemson.
Yeah. I like it.
Orange is the happiest color. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's do it.
I like it. Go
Anything
Tigers.
Else? Everything say.
Tigers, baby.
Go Tigers.